Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my new video. In my twist video, I'm gonna to explain how to use simple present. That activity we used to talk about daily routines, activities that currently we do currently in our lives. Now I'm gonna to give you some examples for understanding very well without doubts or questions. If you have any questions, you can tell me in your comments below this video. If you don't understand, you can tell me or your thumbs up in your comments below this one. Before starting our today's video, I want to send you a special hug from my country, Colombia, all people who are living in the United States, Africa, Europe, around the world, whatever place. Thank you so much for listening in this moment and welcome my today's video. Guys, I'm going to talk about simple present. Guys, currently we use simple present to express our daily routines, activities that currently we do currently, as I said at the beginning of the video, guys. Guys, let me show you my screen because I have some examples by understanding them. And then let's try doing many activities together. If we don't understand, you can comment below, no worries, because you are learning English. If you had you made mistakes, no worries, because you are learning something. Now, if you have any doubts, let me know. Can you show? I'm going to show you my screen. Let me see. Share my screen. Thank you. Guys, can you see my screen? Going to approach more. Okay. In this topic, we're going to use double auxiliary, do or does. Why do or does? Because it depends on that subject. Let me show you. But for explaining these ones about how to use these auxiliaries, I'm going to show you different affirmative sentences. Let me show you. I have all kind of subject. I, you, she, he, it, we, and they. Let me show you affirmative sentences. Let's choose a verb. Let's talk about with verb to pray. Let me type it. To pray in this infinitive. Let me mark it again. Let me mark it. Let me mark it. Okay. In affirmative sentences, the verb, except in when you have the person in singular, this verb has an S at the end of the sentences. But then let me, I'm going to show you. First, we say, if we have all kind of subjects, except third person in singular, verb is in base form. I pray in the church. This one, you pray in the church. We pray in the church. Do you know where the main verb is? It's this one, pray. And then pray in the church. Yeah. With kind of subject, this verb doesn't change. Now, what happened with three subjects? He, she, or it. If one rules of the simple present consists in, if we have third person in singular, he, she, or it, always this verb changes. This verb changes on an S at the end of the verb. In these cases, we're gonna to say with this third person in singular, three people in singular, we say he prays in the church. She prays in the church. It prays in the church. Can you observe what are the differences between all kind of people except third person in singular and third person in singular? Verb changes in third person in singular. We're gonna to see what are the most only verb over there. Third person in singular, this verb changes. Praise with an S at the end of the verb. Praise. I'm going to use another color, in this case red. He prays. Guys, can you observe any differences? Do you have any questions until that moment? Okay, now we're gonna to use with negative sentences. Negative sentences, I can use double auxiliary, do or does. Why? Because if we have this auxiliary, this verb doesn't change. Always always this verb keeps it with for independent. If a verb had an auxiliary before, this verb doesn't change it. Yeah, the same pattern. I, you, he, she, sorry, we, and they. What happened here? It's important to identify what auxiliary we're gonna to use. If we have third person in singular, always gonna to use does. In this case, we use does, he does, she does, and it does. And our subjects or people, by depends what you want to say, we use do. You do, we do, and then we use not. Not or can use with contractions. But let me show you, after the explanation, I'm going to use how it will be with contractions. Not, he doesn't not. I'm speaking without contractions. He doesn't not, it does not, we do not, and they do not. Yeah? I do not, with the same verb. I do not pray in the church. You do not play in the church. Yeah? He does not pray in the church. She does not pray in the church. It does not pray in the church. We do not pray in the church. And they do not pray in the church. Can you look any differences between these negative sentences? In this case, the third person is singular. Why this verb is in base form? Because we had used an auxiliary does. Auxiliary just is conjugated before putting the only verb. In this case, the pray. The only verb is pray, and this is the reason why we didn't use a verb that verb change it. The verb didn't change because we had an auxiliary before. In this case, does not, do not. If you have if you had used an auxiliary, this verb doesn't change. We don't say that. It's wrong to say that. He doesn't praise in the church. It's wrong. We don't say we don't say this one. We say the correct form is he doesn't not pray in the church. Or recontractions would be he doesn't, or with contractions. I don't pray in the church. You don't pray in the church. He doesn't pray in the church. She doesn't pray in the church, guys. He doesn't pray in the church. We don't pray in the church. They don't play in the church, guys. Can you see differences between we use without contraction and contractions? It's easy to use contractions for you, but if you are learning English, it's easier for you to use without contractions. I do not print the shorts. This is the best way for you because you are learning English or you are studying another English level, level A1. Maybe if you try to be more confident, in this case you can use without contractions. I don't pray in the shorts, but my parents or people, close people to me, I recommend them to use without contraction sentences because will be confused because they don't know what to do if I use contractions, if I even can use. But it depends on your personal interest. However, I recommend you to use contractions because it's easier to understand it very well and you will save many space on your notebook when you are typing every day. In this case, I'm typing on a computer. Maybe you are writing a piece of paper. Yeah. If you had an auxiliary before, it's not necessary to change the verb because because this verb had changed before, had been changed before. Sorry. Yeah. Do you have any questions, guys? And the last part, we're going to review interrogative sentences. The same pattern. Same auxiliary or depends on the person, that change the order. First auxiliary with I, you, same pattern. I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. Sorry, I need another piece of paper. Sorry here. So in this case, we use to talk. In this case, let's change the order. First auxiliary subject. Do I pray in the church? Do you pray in the church? Does he play in the church? Does she pray in the church? Sorry. Does she play in the church? Does it pray in the church? Does do we pray in the church? And do they pray in the church? Do you have any questions? It's easier. The same pattern, the same pattern as these ones, but it just try to change the order. First auxiliary subject and the complement. Pray the order in the church. I'm going to give you more examples. We another example. Maybe. Does he work every day? Does he drive his taxi? Does he drive his taxi? Do you take a French course? Oh, wait. Let me open a bracket. If you want to use a languages or you are to write in languages, any English, French, Spanish, always to use capital letter, the first one. We don't write that. We don't say that. English is wrong. The first letter is in capital letter. If you want to mention an idiom in a piece of paper, always capital letter, the first one. English, in this case with E, Spanish, French, successfully. Yeah, don't forget that. Guys, that's it for today. Do you have any questions about my previous explanation by using simple present in our daily routines? Guys, if you are learning English in this moment or taking an English course, no worries. because it's a decide to make mistakes for learning every day, different lessons, and during your activities, guys, together with your family. And what are you doing? I miss you very much. I haven't appeared many times because I have been very busy during this time. However, I would spend more time for talking together before Christmas, our next year, 2025, guys. My friends who are with me in my high school, San Pedro Claver Parish, our university, my degree business administration. And then, guys, if you like this video, don't forget to give me your thumbs up and your comments below this one. I hope to see you in your next opportunity. My pleasure again. My name is Carlos Eduardo Gonzalez Pelufo. Nice to meet you. If you have any questions, do you want to talk to me every day, then let me rest another time. For me, it's essential for you. Guys, my pleasure again. I send you a special hug. That's it for today.